Hello, everybody. Can I just check? Ewan, can you hear me okay?
Hi, James. Yes, I can hear you okay.
Fantastic. Thank you. Just while I'm sharing my screen, I can't admit people to the room. So are you able to help with that?
Yeah, sure. That's no problem at all.
Thank you. Can I just check? Ewan, can you just hear me okay?
Hi, James. Yes, I can hear you okay.
Fantastic. Thank you. Just while I'm sharing the screen, I can't admit people to the room. So are you able to help with that?
Yeah, sure. That's no problem at all.
Okay, everyone. So we're going to get started in about 5 minutes. Thank you very much for joining us early. On the screen here, you can see some of the activities that we have planned as part of the YP Congress, but I will run through that when we get started. And if you are in the audience and you would be interested in participating in sessions like this, please do reach out to us. We are trying to do more things where we showcase the regional activities. So if that's something that you are passionate about, it'd be great to hear from you. Hi, Manny. Mr. Simon, as I say, we're going to get started in just a couple more minutes. And we'll run through what we have today.
Okay,
Thank you. Hey.
I'm fine. I'm good. How
Yeah.
are you?
Very good. Very nice to hear from you.
Okay.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Rodrigo. How are you this morning?
Oh, good. Back here in the city, so with better connection.
Excellent. Is your travel okay?
All good. How's James, your daughter?
Yeah, she's not happy, but she is. She's going to be okay. For those who don't know, my daughter suffered a bit of an accident this weekend, but she'll be fine.
I hope for the best, James. I hope she gets better really soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Rodrigo. Right, well, we're at time now. I can see the people who are to present today are here. So thank you so much for joining us. What you can see on our screen at the moment is what we plan to be doing for this part of the YP Congress throughout the week. So at the same time, Monday through till Friday, what we're really planning on doing is YMEC, the Young Member Engagement Committee, really trying to do more outreach and have more engagement with the regional activities that go on. And doing things online has really helped that and allowed a platform for us all to kind of showcase each other. Thanks to both of our speakers today, Nikhil and Rodrigo. They laid the foundation for all of this to take place. So it's really exciting to have you both on. But yes, as I say, the Young Member Engagement Committee, we're really looking to see what's going on in the regions, obviously, because the only way that we really find out about the activities is through annual reports and occasionally social media when things get uploaded there. But there's so much really good work that YP section officers and section officers in general are doing across SPE. We really want to take this opportunity to highlight these activities, perhaps share some ideas with other sections who think that they may be interested in doing the same thing, maybe boost some collaboration, all sorts of things. So we really want to kind of give this platform to you guys and just really show what's going on in the regions, because I know there's some really incredible stuff that's going on. So if you don't know much about the YP Congress, this is our first ever event. We had a kickoff session on Saturday. The kind of inaugural session was focused around our Ideathon, which is where we're encouraging YPs from around the world to come together in groups and spend the week developing sustainability solutions for our industry. So please do keep an eye out on activities throughout the Congress. We'll hope to give you some updates on that. And then next Saturday, we will be showcasing those sessions and those solutions that people have come up with in order to kind of award some prizes and celebrate the work that YPs are doing. Because at the end of the day, sustainability is such a huge issue, and YPs are kind of really driving that forward. And we really want to kind of highlight some of those YPs who have shown real commitment to this part of the industry as well. So in addition to that, throughout the week, we have about 15 different sessions, including these sessions you're looking at here, where we will be giving some updates on activities around the world. We will be sharing best practices, both from just kind of practical through your own personal career, but also for section activities and things like that. So we hope that by the end of this bootcamp part of the session, it will really give you all the information that you need to make your own activities as good as they can be. All of these sessions slightly different to perhaps your standard keynote presentations. What we're really aiming to do is, as I say, hear as much from you as us talking. So we will be opening up the chats. As you see, you can talk, you can unmute, you can express. We really want to make this kind of a discussion between SPE International and the regional activities as well. So please feel free to put your hand up, raise questions, use the chat features in the box, and we will kind of reach out to you and let you know when the best time to speak is and things like that. So it should be a really good session. I'm hoping we can learn a lot from the different activities, and hopefully that will inspire you watching as well. If you're unsure, if you haven't registered for these events and you haven't received the calendar invitations, you can watch all of these sessions on demand, either via the YMEC YouTube channel or also on the actual event page. We have all the links to all of the events listed there, and they should be available on demand. If not immediately, then pretty soon afterwards. So these will all be available for you as much as possible. So to those of you who are participating in the Ideathon, don't feel that you have to participate in all of these during the live sessions. We know you're going to be very busy coming up with lots of exciting ideas, but these resources will all be here for you for the foreseeable future. So we just want you to make the most of this week. It's going to be a really great pool of bringing all of these international YPs together. So I hope you can learn a lot. So as you can see here, the two sections that we'll be hearing from today is the Mumbai section and the Brazil section. From Mumbai, we have Nikhil, former YMEC member. He just left us a few months ago. We couldn't let him go, so he's back for us to update us about all the many activities that are going on in the Mumbai section. And then after that, we'll be hearing from Rodrigo, the former chair of the Young Member Engagement Committee, who, yes, he's just recently left us. He's kind of helped found this event as well. So it'd be really great to hear from him. He's very active in the Brazil section as well. So that's everything from me. If you have any questions at any point, we have the YP Congress email account, ypcongress@spe.org, or you can always get us at yp@spe.org as well. But yes, please reach out to us anytime. We have lots of resources and lots of exciting activities going on throughout this week. So without further ado, Nikhil, can you hear me okay?
Hey, James, I can hear you well. It's good to be here. I hope you guys can see me and hear me well.
I can see you. I'm assuming you want to be presenting slides. Are you okay? Are you able to do that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I actually have dialed in from two devices. So the other, and I shared my slides with you as well. I'm working from a remote location. So if something goes wrong, I would switch to the audio and maybe request you to share the slides. So thank you everyone for having me here. And should I start comments with my presentation?
Please do. Go ahead, Nikhil. You have as much time as you want.
All right. Just give me a second and let me see how do I present it. Where do I have? Yeah, screen share. Okay. All right. So is my screen visible?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for having us. I'm representing my section, SPE Mumbai section, being a part of the section since a long time, I believe. You know, it's around wow, 16 years now that or 15 years I've been part of SPE Mumbai section since my college days when I was doing my bachelor's in petroleum engineering. So it's our story what we have been doing. So I'm Nikhil Kulkarni. I'm a lead consultant at Wipro Limited and look after the energy natural resources business and work with few clients, global clients, and really exciting stuff out there. But maybe that would be a part of some other discussion. I'm a digitalization data analytics chair and also webmaster for SPE Mumbai section. So whatever updates that you see on LinkedIn or maybe the website or other social media channels, it's me who is in the backdrop. And of course, my subcommittee out there. I'm a member of ATC Startup Village Committee, some exciting stuff coming that way as well. But I'm not going to spill the beans here. It's going to be fun. And I'm a former member of YMEC. YMEC has been an integral part, and I just love YMEC. It's an exciting place to be. I miss. It's been only a couple of months or maybe a couple of weeks, as James said. However, having said that, it's been always fun being there. I received SPE. I'm grateful that SPE awarded me with SPE TWA Energy Influencer for this year. And with that, I would move to my next slide. Yeah. So our section, SPE Mumbai section, was established on 22nd September in 1990. So it's one of the oldest sections in the country. It's one of the most active SPE sections across the country. And imagine, India has 10 sections and 24 student chapters. I know it for a fact that there are a couple of more locations which want to have sections. And I know at least 5 to 6 colleges who are keen to have student chapters, but they still have to attain or reach certain milestones, and we are waiting. Once they do that, then further process can be done. So imagine the big footprint of SPE in India. SPE Mumbai section, we are one of the biggest sections in the country, and we take pride to be SPE member, volunteering for SPE, and even student chapters from our colleges. They are extremely vibrant. They also are always keen to go ahead and do new stuff and contribute and give back to the society. We have members from various sectors of oil and gas industry. We have our NOC, national oil companies, of course, big IOCs, service companies, tech companies, ITES companies. So I am from IT and digital company. We have consulting firms. So big consulting, big fours, and other big companies, big renowned companies in consulting area, consulting domain. We have policy making members who are part of policy making companies, advocacy companies, market research firms. So this is completely different, diverse area. And maybe a petroleum engineer might not typically think, okay, I want to get into a market research firm, or maybe other way around. They might not know that market research firm or a bank would have a job for them. So yeah, that's market research. Sorry, I missed to put banks here, but academia. Academia, of course, we have student chapters. However, our faculties from all the students, all the 3 colleges that we have, faculties in all the 3 colleges are extremely active. And I must mention that all of them, you just tell them one thing, and there's a lot of energy that they will bring to the table. We also have people from rating agencies. That's interesting, right? So Mumbai is a great place, and there we have all sort of different companies. So rating agencies, international rating agencies are there, and there are many more different ones or twos, individuals who are from different areas. We have 3 student chapters. It includes India's premier college, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, IIT Bombay. It has the status of Institute of Eminence by the Government of India, and it has one of the toughest entrance exams in the world. So, IIT entrance exam, it's one of the toughest, less than 1 percentile people actually get admission out there. Amazing talent out there. Then MIT Pune. It's one of the most reputed institute for petroleum engineering in the country, and of course globally. We have our alumni. So I'm alumni of IIT Bombay as well as MIT Pune, and we have our alumni based everywhere. Every company, every big company you would find people have gone ahead, set up their startups, working for different companies and contributing to the industry. And of course, Vadia College. So they are an interesting college. It's a relatively younger chapter, but they are making buzz. They are doing a lot of activities. They are taking efforts and making a big impact in SPE and in the industry. So I have mentioned here 2 links. You can follow us and join us through LinkedIn and our website. You can interact with us. If me or our team members or our board members, whoever are available, would reach out to you, and whatever possible, whatever required, whatever question is there, we would be there to help you or collaborate in the best possible way. So this is our board. I'm not going to read out every name in there. We have one patron who is helping our guiding guiding our section. He's our patron, Mr. Pankaj Kumar. Mr. Niladri Mitra, he is actually a senior citizen, but he is extremely active. So why I've shared this, when we are speaking of YP, we are speaking of youth, but for our section, youth means a bit different. A person who is young at heart, young at mind, and young at energy, tremendously powerful, tremendous energies. So this is what our board represents. Every individual person in there, including our staff liaison, Arian and Jackie, tremendously enthusiastic and active. So this is what we have put. So Mr. N.K. Mitra, he actually is a veteran. He was COO of ONGC, and he was one of the pioneers who brought SPE to India, one of the initial pioneers. So there is a great story, which great thing that's happening with the section board right now. But eventually, I would share in next couple of slides. Nikita Mishra, she is our YP chair, and of course, rest of the folks are there. So I think a bit of lag. Yes. So this is an interesting slide. This year, I only mentioned this year's awards. Okay, these are the various awards that SPE Mumbai section achieved this year. You can see right from Energy Influencer to receiving special recognition from TWA Editorial Board, multiple regional awards, Membership Retention Award, and our Student Chapter Excellence Award. So now, Wadia College I mentioned, they actually have received 2 awards. Where MIT YP Senior City, they have received Student Chapter Excellence Award. So all the awards, it was a massive, marvelous award session. And I'm telling you, it's not just this year. It's every year that SPE Mumbai section does this. These are the few highlights that we had. Last year was pandemic. The whole world went through a tough time, and I'm sure everybody else must have seen and have had their bits and pieces, good, bad, and uglies, and best of the world. Everybody had certain different aspects, different experiences. People volunteered. People did a lot of cause, lot of things for humanity. Humanity was achieved, and the biggest thing happened. What did this pandemic do? This pandemic triggered digital transformation. People who are not willing to take a step, they are actually becoming digital because of this pandemic. So having said that, our YP was active as usual in last year as well. So we actually we did some brainstorming session. The amazing team, I'm going to show them as well, showcase that as well. So we hosted some amazing YP panels, 3-day sessions for future of petroleum engineers. This is a concern that everybody across the globe is having. People, petroleum engineering students and young professionals. What's going to happen? Am I going to have a job after 10 years? Will I be able to make good money? If I lose my job, will I get a new job? There are certain concerns that I have mentioned in the subsequent slides. So this was 3-day session. YPs presenting, sharing their views. We had certain experts and certain senior industry people who came and showed us some light, interesting discussions. And the next one I'm going to mention was an extremely amazing part. So board transformation is new normal for board transfusion. Everybody goes out and speaks of D&I, people are speaking, and it's really good thing that people are becoming active and taking more concern, more interest, and making sure that board transformation is happening, inclusivity is there. So this session, this panel was organized by, it was organized by all female, all the speakers were ladies, and they actually showed insights and they showed how they are leading their lives and reaching heights. So people who have reached the board level positions, it might be at country level, it might be at international level. So we had certain people, certain presenters who are from international board level positions as well. And it was all managed by our female colleagues in YP, in SPE, sorry. So we started all the program digitally. We conducted various programs online, student outreach programs, and we started monthly Tech Connect. So every month we host one Tech Connect program where industry expert comes and speaks on highly core technical petroleum engineering technical topic, because these days people say technical and they start getting into C and coding and digital and all that stuff. No, we spoke hardcore of EOR, we spoke hardcore of drilling. So various aspects of that. We had special mention, I would like to mention some themes that we hosted especially. So sustainability, that's a core and key to us. Digital transformation, India is a leader in digital transformation. We have just as simple as digital payment happening every other part in the world, even a small village. And one key thing was post-pandemic world. So we actually hosted a workshop. It was not a typical ATW. It was a tech workshop that happened at regional level or local level. We had certain speakers from the region as well, where it was focused for India. And it was a great workshop that we hosted. We had around 300 participants in the workshop joining virtually as well as hybrid. It was a hybrid event. And we discussed how the post-pandemic digital transformation is happening. So it was actually arranged by the whole SPE Mumbai section. I would not say only YPs. However, YPs did contribute. There were specific responsibilities were given to YPs. The board is taking efforts, special efforts to make sure that YPs and young generation is taking place. They are stepping up and taking responsibilities proactively. We have been, our student chapters have been taking efforts for webinars, seminars, and they are having very different themes. When I was in college, I would never think of these things. It was forbidden things, alternative career aspects for petroleum engineers. What I can do, and as a core petroleum engineering job, how a core petroleum engineering job in bank is much more technical from petroleum engineering point of view than maybe in an oil company. Very interesting discussion. Startups, how to start a startup from petroleum engineering or energy point of view. So these days we are discussing about energy and larger energy plethora. So specifically discussions for petroleum engineering students, and student chapters of course held energy for me programs, ambassador lecture programs that have been happening. And I must say that our members, including student chapters and all the industry in Mumbai region, everybody did tremendous contribution in pandemic. People were helping each other for oxygen, for remdesivir, or even in certain times where door-to-door, I know certain people who actually went out and did door-to-door step, participated in door-to-door testing and tested, contributed to a testing of around 10,000 people. So I know people who have done that in this in our section. So tremendous contribution. This is an amazing team that worked in 2020. So Aditya Mukherjee, so he was the YP chair, and now he's looking after finances of the section. He was also a recipient of 2021 SPTWA Energy Influencer. Then Akshay Jagtap was student chapter liaison. He took tremendous efforts to make sure that he's reaching out to students, making sure that industry academia interaction is going smooth, it's happening well. Dr. Samad Patwadan, he was the faculty liaison, played a key role in tying up and playing in hosting events for student chapters. And the YP subcommittee, they were at the core of it. So Nikita Mishra, Sayanima Kesku, Pratiksha Raj, Purvi Shukla, and Akanksha Siddhar. All of these YP subcommittee members are ladies, and it's not just left there. So our current YP chair is Nikita Mishra. So it's not just that we did something and left it there. So people are being nurtured and given responsibility so that there is a continued story. It's not haphazard. So there is continuity in the story. So what's happening this year? What are our plans? So I said that there is something interesting that I would like to share. So the new board member is with much more younger members, YPs, with more responsibilities. Experienced seniors are there. So the directors and board section directors and section board members, all of them, they are senior people, but purposefully they have chosen not to take any responsibility. Even our ex regional director, he is part of the board as section director, Mr. Tapas K. Sengupta. He is extremely approachable and a great person. he is guiding everybody, and we can reach out to him. Just imagine we are getting that kind of exposure and getting guidance from them to take steps ahead. NK Mitra sir has stepped in. We actually reached out to him saying that, sir, we need your mentoring and guidance because we are building a new generation. So that's something that's very important. And I would like to emphasize that this is definitely a key takeaway that everybody should take up, that, you know, you give responsibility, but transition should happen smooth. You know, YPs, young professionals should not start fighting. Yeah, I want this, you're not giving this. It should happen. It should happen smoothly. You should go out, prove your mettle, and then make sure that you get the reward. And when you're giving responsibility, as it said in Spider-Man movie, responsibility, the power comes with responsibility. So I might not have quoted it the correct way, but I hope you got the meaning what I'm trying to say. We are planning some activities, labs, manufacturing facilities, so and R&D facilities. So manufacturing facilities, so drill bit manufacturing unit is something that's totally different area, right? But we are having certain units like that. So we want to visit that. So that's a totally different aspect. We get a different overview of what's happening in there. Again, a different career aspect for YPs and young professionals. We are focusing on D&I and sustainability this year. So from this year onwards, we have one person, one senior section director assigned as a D&I chair, and one section director as sustainability chair. We are planning YP meetups. Unfortunately, last year and a half, we could not do that, but we often have cricket matches. Cricket is a religion, a big religion in India. So cricket matches, football matches, and a lot of YP meetups that we have. We are starting those. CSR activities, of course, some interactive sessions on energy transition, sustainability, and various programs that we plan to collaborate with other sections in India. There are many sections, as I said. And we are collecting some data where we are trying to understand what are the concerns of YPs and students, and then addressing those concerns, having some people come and speak about those. Student outreach programs, energy awareness programs. We are planning to take up some paper and piece contests. James, on you. We had discussed in past environment that we would have a software which we can use regionally as well. So if we have a format, we did have it this year we did a lot of exercise for Petrobol. So we are going to execute it at section level, and we are trying to host some quiz contest so that the momentum is generated and people get used to those formats. And of course, collaborative initiatives with other sections, and that's not limited only to India. So if you are sitting in Canada or Africa or Australia or Latin America or Europe or Russia, anywhere, if you want to have a collaborative session, please feel free to reach out to us, and we are happy to collaborate with you. This is our this year's team. So Dr. Samat Patwazan, he's actually double hatting because some movement has happened. Somebody had to relocate to a different location. So he is actually handling a student chapter liaison as well. And he's of course the faculty liaison. Nikita Mishra is our YP chair. As I mentioned, the continuity is happening. It's not that something happens haphazardly. YP subcommittee is Bharatendru Bharadwaj, Govind Hundagan, Vivit Paliwal, Amit Kumar Dhanashrishti, and Rashid Gar. So eventually, this is the long-term plan. I'm not going to take too much more time. A couple of slides more, and I'm going to close it. So this is the insight of ecosystem of India. So India is one of the biggest energy consumers in the world. We are the leader in digital transformation. You name a technology, and we have it. And we are contributing globally. So we are a technology provider to the world. Mumbai is financial capital of India, oil and gas hub of India. India's biggest oil field, Bombay High, is offshore Mumbai. All the corporate offices of all the companies, banks, and everybody is there in Mumbai. And that's why we could manage to have right from rating agencies. So that's our secret sauce, that we have all the corporate offices, and we can actually say, oh, we need people, you need to come and you need to join. So we make sure that we reach out to them, we reach out to their YPs or even professionals and make sure that they come and join. We invite them for sessions, we engage with them, and then eventually make sure that the right interest is generated so that they come and join SPE. Because membership, having more members is extremely crucial to have good activities. If you don't have audience to whom you're going to talk, right? You need to have somebody to listen to you. So yeah, so we are proactively taking efforts. We are putting target. Everybody gets some target that I'm going to take X number of people. That I'm going to reach out to X number of people and make sure that at least this much percentage comes and takes the membership and joins the program. So just taking membership, paying some couple of dollars is not going to help as well. So people need to come attend the events. That's how the community will grow. So we have 3 major petroleum institutes. They are doing a lot of activities. And we have one of the biggest startup hubs. So Mumbai is a big startup hub. Tremendous funding happens. Startup funding happens through Mumbai. Big VCs and all, everybody sitting in Mumbai. So this is the ecosystem. This is the slide. I'm going to address the elephant in the room, folks. People know me that I do that. I do that bluntly, and I'm not ashamed of doing that, or I'm not afraid of doing that. So let me do that now. Everybody is afraid, or so when I say all, it means maybe YPs, maybe senior, maybe student. So everybody is concerned about energy transition. What is happening? How is happening? How it's happening? And how it's going to affect me? So that everybody has a concern. I'm not going to address anything here. It's open for discussion maybe later. Everybody's trying to understand what is digital transformation and kind of demystifying digital transformation, because these days people go out, do some Hadoop or machine learning course, come back and say, oh, look, I'm a data scientist. Hey, it does not work out like that. And that's where people who are trying to change their career, they get into a trap, because doing a data science course or just learning machine learning or Python is not going to make your digital transformation professional. Sustainability, am I doing it right, or am I not doing it right? That's a concern that everybody has. Students are having a concern, will I have a job after completing my course? People understand, people hear this news every day and day in and day out. I personally believe even my son, he's just 2.5. If he decides to be a petroleum engineer, I would be very happy and I would let him do that. So I'm assured that there'll be petroleum industry. You need to evolve, of course, but yeah. This is one big concern that everybody has. I want to go out for masters. I want to do an MBA. Should I go for an MBA? Should I do an MS? Should I do an MS in very specific reservoir description using machine learning, or maybe some other stuff? Or should I go for generic stuff or economics? Will the other industries accept me? Or should I go for larger energy industry? How should I do that? What's right for me? Being a petroleum engineer, this is a concern that everybody has. YPs also have this concern that I want to upskill I want to upskill. So this is very region specific. In India, people do understand that they have digital literacy, and just doing machine learning course is not going to let you become a digital professional. So what skill set should I acquire, and to what extent should I get into that? So that if I do some cloud course, I don't become a cloud professional. I actually use that skill as an armor in my or as a weapon in my armature. So that kind of concern that YPs do have, it might be region specific, other places, I'm not sure. People might have what is digital skill, maybe that question that fortunately we don't have to answer in India. YPs who are in mid-career, like myself, they have concern that how can I sustain, grow and make it big. Oil industry is changing, it's changing drastically. It's much different. The pace of change is tremendously higher as compared to it was a couple of years back. And members in transition have a different concern. They are concerned about what is in store for me, because in India a different concern is that a large ecosystem is with the NOCs and IOCs. So people are trying to get into the industry, but there are limited opportunities where they can get specifically people with 20 plus years of experience, highly technically proficient, and maybe coming back, getting repatriated from other countries. So after coming here, they might have a specific deep water, ultra deep water experience, and it might not be too much of relevance here. A lot of different questions that they have, but I think it includes a different plethora. So I'm not going to get too much details into that. There are a couple of advantages that we have. India is the second populous country in the world. We have highest number of youth population in the world. Wow, we can, we rock in that sense. Yeah. And easy access to leading digital and newest technologies. Even school kids need to they do build apps, and there are courses. It actually happens. I'm not going to say everybody does that, but students are, students in 5th, 6th grade, they are given those kind of courses externally, not in school, but they get access to these courses. And if they want, they can go ahead and learn those things as well. There is keenness to contribute to energy industry. We understand that energy is a primary concern right now. SPE Mumbai section is a big family. Even members who have moved out of Mumbai, or even industry and have gone or retired or gone to totally different industry, they are somehow keeping connected with SPE Mumbai section, and they often contribute and participate in activities. And we make sure that we are looking after our members. It is extremely essential that saying it's a family and acting as a family. So we are taking a step, and we make sure that we, of course, there are limitations, but we make sure that the personal touch is maintained. And our YPs, SPE Mumbai section YPs, are focused, determined, and committed for inclusive, sustainable future. And this is not just collage of word; it actually is happening. And I would invite everybody to join our SPE Mumbai section activities. If you happen to come to Mumbai, please feel free to reach out to me or any of the Mumbai section folks. And I'm sure we would be very happy to have collaborative events, activities, and have some of course catch up in the evening. So with this, I think I'm coming to a conclusion. I would like to say thank you, and in Mumbai we say dhanyawad. So that's in here. So with that, I would conclude my very long monologue. Sorry if I have been misquoting or maybe moving here and there, but I really appreciate the opportunity on behalf of Mumbai section that you gave us to present our story and share our thought, our perspective, and our concern. Of course, we are always there to contribute, and if wherever we can, we'll always be participating. I can assure you and commit from our Mumbai section side. With that, I would stop here. I would take a pause and hand it back to James. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. That was you guys do a huge amount over there. It's incredible stuff, and I love those hot topics that you added in at the end, because I can really imagine people are thinking those things all over the world, but the actual content that you're providing, it will have. Yeah, I'm sure that the actual content is unique because of the region that you're in. So while people are talking about these kinds of issues all over the world, the kind of insight and things like that you give to your specific region is incredible. So excellent. Thank you so much, Nikhil. If anybody has any questions, please do add them in the chat. But otherwise, I'll ask Rodrigo if he is okay to start in just a minute. But
James,
just excellent, fantastic, thank you.
So James,
and
go ahead.
Just before we move on, I just wanted to kind of remind people that I'm taking notes furiously throughout all of this, but I will be we will be with Rodrigo again on Friday, doing a kind of review session where we'll be talking about kind of some of the key activities from across the week, and talking about best practices and things like that. So kind of exciting things and lessons learned. And of course, all of these will be available on demand as well. So if you feel like you've missed out or things are moving too quickly, don't worry, it will be available for you. But there isn't anything else. Rodrigo, are you happy to tell us about the Brazil section?
Thank you, James. Thank you, Yuan. It's great seeing Nikhil, fellow friends from YMAC, Cassandra, and some other people, Mohammed. Great seeing you all. And like James mentioned, we're really happy to bring you this event. The idea is to really just exchange notes, cards, ideas, best practice, tricks, and lessons learned that we've had all throughout our different sections and what we can do for not only young professionals, but students. I'm amazed by Nikhil. You were mentioning India has 10 sections. That's amazing. I mean, I know it's normal for some countries, you know, the US, a lot of sections in other countries, but for Brazil, we have 3, and I think that's already a lot. So amazing all the work you guys are doing there. And like Jim said, the idea is in the end to collect all of these ideas throughout the different days. We'll have different sections and try to produce kind of a memo or a main key takeaways, let's say, that we can then turn into either a nice guide manual for best practices for that YMEC can then use with Niha and Cassandra and the rest of the team, as well as James and Yuen, and also if perhaps we can even submit it to the board so they can see if there are any actions that could be taken to improve the actions. I won't take much long. James, I prepared a presentation, but I'll quite brief on it. I don't know if I can share my screen.
Should be able to, hopefully.
Okay, just 1 second.
Let me know if you don't see the option.
Not yet. I think maybe the amazing Yuen or James can give me the, I don't know if I need to be co-host or something.
So you should be co-host, but if that's not enough, I can make you full host if that helps. Do you see the?
Let me see now. I can share now. Okay, thanks so much. If you guys could let me know when you can see the screen on in presentation mode. Let me just switch screens again. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, can you guys see the main screen presentation mode?
Thank you, Rodrigo.
Okay, thank you guys. So I realized there's here a bunch of slides because we got excited with a lot of information. By the way, we'll be joined briefly by Amanda. She wanted to be here at Luciani, our YP and student board chairs, but they're both being held, as you are aware, due to the time right now, time zone. She's in a medical appointment, Amanda, but she'll still try to join. And Luciani, she's currently in Norway, so it might be a little tough for her to join right now, but perhaps they'll join later. So as you guys are pretty much aware, our Brazil section is quite probably like all the other sections focused on collecting and disseminating knowledge, giving opportunities to professionals and enhancing their ability to cope with the world, their society, their company, and their roles as both engineers and energy professionals. A little brief history of the Brazil section. It actually started in Brazil in SPE 1970 in Campinas, this research university in São Paulo. And then the Brazil section itself was established in 1985, same year I was born. It's a little bit quite old for some Latin American sections. There are currently 3 sections in Brazil. There's a Brazil section, which is not all of Brazil, which is a bit of a strange name. We have the Macaé section, which Macaé is the city where we have, would be kind of the equivalent, let's say, of Houston or some of the main oil main cities, let's say. And then we have Bahia section, which is in this northeastern part of the country. It's quite a large country, not as large as India or other countries, but still quite large. So there's the 3 sections, but pretty much Brazil section is still the central section and the oldest one. So it's always very happy to join efforts and assist the Macaé and Bahia sections, which are a little bit smaller, but also very active. And our main events that we have here in Brazil, or at least we had before the pandemic, is OTC Brazil. As you guys are aware, there's the OTC in the US, OTC Malaysia, and some other OTCs. We have OTC Brazil every 2 years. It's co-organized by SPE International and with support of SPE Brazil. We have the Brazilian Petroleum Conference, which is joined with the Society of Brazilian Geophysicists and some other geoscience societies. The Subsea Forum, which is now an international SPE event. Subsea Forum is every 2 years. Brazil Offshore, some other national events. And now we're starting with some major symposium and events such as the FPSO Symposium, which we hope becomes an international recurrent event within the SPE community. And I'll go mainly focusing on the YP activities for you guys. So as I was mentioning, there are the 3 sections here, Bahia and the northeastern part. And here very close to each other is the Brazil section and the Macaé section. Each one has around, in total, we oscillate the number of chapters. Brazil section for a while, along with, I think, was Lagos, don't remember the name of the African section. We had the most number of student chapters for a single section. That was a little bit tough. Now, due to the market downturn before COVID, that decreased a bit, but it's usually 700 members in the Brazil section, and then 150, and let's say extra 50 with the other sections. And in total, we have around 20 student chapters in Brazil when you add up the 3 sections. Okay, so this is the board. Apologies that it's in Portuguese, but just to highlight some little things here is the fact that we've created for a while now the diversity and inclusion chair, as well as the sustainability chairs. I think they're quite rule of thumb now, but we're happy to say that we were one of the first sections to implement it in the region, and we are very glad it's been helping a lot. And we always try to keep our board as diverse as possible, not only in terms of gender, but in terms of which company they represent, which sector of the oil and gas industry they represent, age-wise. That's also something we're very keen on. We like having YPs in our board section, and as well as some very much experience, let's say, senior professionals. So the Brazil section is quite a young section in terms of demographic. As you can see here, we're mainly focused on this is one of the current latest data, but before the pandemic and before there was a bit of an oil downturn in Brazil some couple of years ago, we were by far much more oriented towards YPs than any other demographic. Now YPs have gone a little bit down. Some of us have gone older. I'm now in the green bar, but it's also a fact that Brazil decreased a lot of its number of student chapters in universities. At some point, Brazil was offering around 40 oil and gas courses, whether it's engineering, masters, or any kind of student programs. And that number, of course, has gone down from 40 to probably around 25 in the country. These are our largest sections. You're probably quite aware with UFRJ, University, the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro from Petrobol, as well as other student chapters. We've had sometimes some very large student chapters that have gone up to 500 members. Nowadays they're a little bit smaller, but we have a lot of activity from student chapters, probably sometimes even more than the section itself, which sometimes, and this is something we can then tackle as a key takeaway. I think in some countries, luckily, people believe that SPE is a student society rather than a professional society, which I think it's both a great thing and a challenge, because some professionals, once they graduate, they don't understand the value of remaining in the section because they see the huge amount of events done by students. And sometimes the section itself, ourselves, remain a little bit shadowed by that. So that's something perhaps, I don't know if also happens in Mumbai section and your sections. And of course, Cassandra knows very well the Latin American Caribbean region. She can then comment and give some more details. So regarding of métiers and technical disciplines, we used to be much more oriented towards drilling. That was when Brazil was having around 40 different rigs on contract. There was so many wells being done, mainly in the pre-salt area. It's deep offshore. But now it's with the market being reformatted and the downturn of the market before COVID, and now with COVID, it's more oriented towards the production technology and mainly reservoir discipline, as you can see here. We do have a lot of engineers, but as you can see, we also have a lot of professionals that don't fall into the traditional petroleum engineer profile. In terms of companies, we're quite diverse. We have a lot of oil and gas operators, some of them national ones like Petrobras or PetroRio. We have the big oil companies representatives as well, or big energy now, with Total Energy, Shell, Exxon, BP. There was a bit of a sale-off. Some companies had some farm outs, but now there have been recent bidding grounds for the pre-sale. So a lot of new companies have arrived. There's recently a jump of startups, small companies, either onshore or even offshore, going big, whether national, international, and Perenco is one of them, Trident, and some other ones, as well as some 100% Brazilian companies. So that's something interesting. I don't know if it's also happening in your sections. We support all of the main YP programs, including Energy for Me, which we've tropicalized and called SPE nas escolas, SPE in the schools. I'll show you some pictures of that later. These are our main partnerships with the other sections, and there's FGV, think tank here that we have quite efforts with, and some other entities. Sponsorship-wise, we're now thinking, due to COVID, of what we have implemented, which we're quite proud of, is a new global sponsorship model. Global in the sense that we, instead of tackling, many companies came to us and said they had so many emails coming from student chapters, from YPs, from, let's say, DNI groups, and even the section, that it wasn't clear for them which event they should actually sponsor, which was the same as the other, which would really fit into their goals as a company. So what we've done is we've sat down with all the student chapters, with different committees, such as the YP committee, DNI committee, and all the other ones you'll see later. And we've approached, in this case, Total Energies. It's the pioneer contract we've had, which we're about to sign, in which we we're kind of like the representative for all of these sponsor events. So they don't have to talk to, let's say, 15 entities within SPE. They only need to talk to one. we try to bring the best value for our student chapters. And what we've done is we've focused a lot on virtual sponsorship. So for instance, we have now monetized or given the opportunity to sponsor our header and images in our YouTube channel, on our LinkedIn channel. So we've realized that rather than having a traditional banner being printed out and shown displayed next to the standing scenario in in-person location, which was pre-COVID standard, now we've gone fully virtual, and we've really tried to bring some opportunities for companies to display their brand virtually, whether it's through virtual backgrounds, social media like we were showing, or many other ideas we're thinking of. So that's something new for us, as well as centralizing it all in one single contract that will last for a year and a half. So we're trying to replicate that with different companies, and that's been a challenge. So we have a lot of events that we've gone virtual. I'll show you in just a moment. So we have one Tech Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, you can join in our YouTube channel from Brazil section. You can see what we call Tech Tuesday. They used to be in-person events, as you can see here. Now they've gone fully virtual, and we think that's the model to keep, or perhaps a hybrid one when things are fully back to normal. It's a small event in the sense that we usually target around 25, 30 people, no more than that. And it's usually a high-level technical presentation. So we're happy with having that small number, as that's kind of the purpose. And it's very constant. We already have all Tuesdays booked until, I think it's March of next year. So, and we've been having that for already like a year and a half. So we're quite proud of our Tech Tuesdays. This is the Tech Tuesdays latest ones that we're having. We also have the distinguished lecture. What we do is we talk to the other two sections, the Macaé and the Bahia Sergipe sections. And what we do is we try to all of us choose the lectures that we want to have. So not to have SPE spend more than they need to and have different speakers in different parts of Brazil. So we try to have the same 2 speakers per year. And that way we can coordinate logistics and cut costs for SPE International. Women in energy is extremely strong here in Brazil, now being rebranded into diversity and inclusion. We have a lot of events, a very strong channel. It's probably one of our most active committees, along with the YP. You'll see in some other events. We've had in the past pre-COVID several lectures from different women in energy seminars, and we even had a very successful symposium in which we had Sean Nuna here as well, and some other people from SPE International. I believe Cesar was here for the event, Cesar Patinho. And we have an Elise Lara, which was the previous regional director for Latin American Caribbean. It was a major event with a lot of big companies sponsoring the event, and was one of our proudest pre-COVID events. And this is something that is showing really strong in Brazil. Of course, now we've rebranded into a diversity and inclusion, but if you want to talk to Eduarda Zanetti and some other people, including Cassandra, who are very active with women in energy here in Brazil, we'll be happy to link you with them. We have the Brazil Symposium, which this is now an international SPE event. We have every 2 years. It started here in Brazil. The FPSO Symposium, the first of its kind, and we believe not only in Brazil, but worldwide, focusing on FPSO units. As you are aware, Brazil is one of the countries with the most number of FPSOs, if not the most. It has around 45 to 50 FPSOs already in operation, with around 20 more to be expected to start up in the next 10, 15 years. So we have a lot of FPSOs, and this is something we're proud of, we're working on. We are very strong now with HEC. We've created a committee on HEC called the HEC Committee, which has lectures every 2 to 3 weeks on our YouTube channel. We recently just had, and we're very proud that we had James, Yuan, Niha joining the event. We have our first decarbonization seminar, which lasted an entire week. We hope that James and Yuan and YMEC members liked it. It was a 5 full day calendar, around 4 to 5 hours every day, in which we invited IOCs, the government, regulatory entities, universities, and we tackled decarbonization, the climate issues, let's say, for the oil and gas industry in Brazil. And it remains recorded. We'll be posting it most on YouTube, all the videos we've recorded. And for those that want to still register, you can still watch those events in English of what happened during that entire week. So we've had also this event called the Resiliency Event. We invite the various CEOs of different companies to talk about how the industry could reinvent itself. It was pre-COVID, probably even more relevant now. It's an annual event. student paper contest is very strong. We're very proud to say that Brazil is usually every year in one of the top 3 international slots, mainly Unicamp is very strong. Unicamp is one of the oldest chapters in Brazil. A lot of strong research. We're very proud of our students, not only in undergrads, but masters and PhDs. We've created our little Oscars from the oil and gas industry or the energy industry. We're planning to do it now again and this year after a hiatus of due to COVID, but this was the last time we had here. You can recognize some faces here, such as Cesar and some other people here. We had this event in which something that we're proud of is that we give every year 4 awards to YPs. We give awards also to D&I, sustainability, and some other different categories, which I think do not yet exist internationally for awards. And what we do is whoever wins this national award, we sponsor and back up so that they can hopefully win the regional award. And then if they do, we hopefully back them and so that they win the international award. And not to extend too much, I'll just go into some of the final slides. We do this kind of marketing / sustainability campaigns. We either gift, sell, or donate these mugs here, and we try to avoid the use of disposable plastic cups for water. And just focusing a little bit on more YPs to close out, the YP committee, of which me and some other fellows, we started some years ago, and now Amanda and Luciani are leading this committee. They have a lot of events, networking events, ambassador lecture programs, soft skill career events, the Petro Games, which is our national Petro Bowl. We used to have monthly meetings in person, and now they're having the monthly meetings virtually. At some point, we've had some time more than 40 members from different 30 companies, from different entities, sectors, and ages. Something we're proud of and that we try to do strategically is that we try to mirror the board structure into the YP committee structure. So if we have, let's say, a membership director in our section, we try to have a membership director in the YPs. And the idea is that as these YPs become more mature professionally and grow, they leave the YP committee and take over either as substitute or as main representative of that specific chair. So that ensures and helps us keep this transfer of knowledge and pass on from generation to generation, which we think was one of the key issues we had before. We're quite proud of it. Same thing, we also have a lot of integration with what we call pool of volunteers. We realize you probably have the same issues in your sections, is that sometimes some YPs are hugely active with some specific event, let's say Petro Bowl, but they're not quite interested in some other event, or they really want to help for a specific committee, but they don't want help for something else. And it's up to them, of course. So what we do is we have some specific roles within the YP community. They have now some specific roles within the YP committee for Energy for Me, ALP, etc. And there's this pool of volunteers, which is a large list of YPs from different regions, sections, companies that we call to help with specific actions, programs, projects, or events. And that way, we don't demand them to have an active role, which they sometimes do not want to, but we get the advantage of having this human resources whenever we need them, and without having to lose them due to pressure or any kind of regular commitment. This is just some examples of our very successful Petro Games. We do it nationally. We've done it now virtually, and as you're aware, Brazil is quite strong at the international event with UFRJ and some of their teams. We do technical visits with YPs and students to FPSOs platforms whenever available. Something that is quite popular here in Latin America, as you can imagine, Brazil, our networking events, happy hour events. So this is something showing the strongest suits for YPs and students. We've tried to think of sometimes out of the box. We've done some events with NASA, for instance, or with Embraer, in which we try to capture what they do for HSE, for risk management, and some other aspects that the aerospace industry is quite strong with. So we've had this kind of webinars. We had this with David Kaplan, which was the risk management officer for NASA, to virtually. This was before COVID. We have every year or every 2 years a round table with the different companies, headhunters, and universities to give students a view on how the market is, what they're looking for, how's what they expect in terms of job offers to happen in the next 6 months to a year. This is a very successful event as well. They do it now virtually. We also have something called the SPE Talks, in which we have some all generations, all perhaps not the right word. We have some experienced professionals are leaving the market, they're retiring. We invite them to pass on their knowledge to YPs. And that's pretty much it. We have our meetings. We try to have in this event, such as LTC Brazil and the Rio and Gas, which are annual massive congresses and seminars. What we do is when SPE has a stand booth, we try to have students as volunteers to work at the stand in exchange for access to the paper section, but they also help us as volunteers at the stand to talk about SPE and talk to those that are passing by. So it's a win-win situation, which they're quite happy to join. And last but not least, some of the more out-of-the-box events, we had some, when Deepwater Horizon movie came out, trying to engage the young audience, the YPs and students, we had a closed door pre-premiere for free in one of the movie theaters here in Rio de Janeiro. We're quite proud of it. And that's pretty much it. Our YPs, happy hours, our virtual events. Just as a little parenthesis, now we've started to develop specific committees. So now we have an HC committee, we have a legal committee, we're trying to develop a Wells committee, we have a technology transformation committee, and we have a flow assurance committee. And we know this is following what some large sections already had, like in the Gulf Coast, but for us was quite new, and this has proved to be quite successful. There's Ivan, a director of the section that's been doing this along with other board members, and it's been working great. So these are just some examples of some of the subcommittees that we have within the section. And apologies, I probably took more than expected in terms of time. Thank you so much. And we display here our main social media accounts, mainly the YouTube channel, where you can see and watch for free most of our events. Thank you so much, James.
Thank you. That's, again, like Nikhil, you do so much within your sections and so much I was unaware of, but I mean, it's incredible all the kind of unique activities that are going on and the way that you're kind of just doing things differently, reacting to your audiences. With both of you, it sounds like doing things virtually has really increased the output that you're doing. So it's really, really incredible stuff. Well done to you and everyone in your section. It's incredible. Nikhil did have a couple of questions for you. I'll just read them out quickly. So, Rodrigo, do you have more information on the different categories for awards that are offered at a section level? I know a lot of sections are interested in awards, but perhaps I'm not sure how to go about that.
Sure, James, and thanks so much, Nikhil. Always great with great questions. We've had, for instance, now it was kind of a political battle, but now we have 4 awards per YPs. We had a recognition which we're hoping to be turned into an official award, which is for that member that gives the most amount of Ambassador Lecture Program lectures, most ALP active one. Same thing for Energy for Me. We give it to the most active Energy for Me YP. We also give an award for kind of like SPE International gives to that company that has mostly contributed to the section that year. We also give some lifetime awards, and we try to give awards for those that have been, if I'm not wrong, and some of the Brazil section guys might correct me, it's 15, 20, and 25 years of member. We give this awards. We have some members that are 30, 35 members, year members, and sometimes we joke and we say, you know, we gotta be fast and give these guys the awards as soon as possible. Some of them are with a little bit older age, so we're really proud of these fellows. But and mainly sustainability has been a strong suit that we've had. Realized that now in SPE it's quite strong, but we've had this award for a while now. And not only sustainability, but diversity and inclusion. We try to give it to either a professional or company that has done the most for D&I in Brazil.
It's really interesting. Wow, there's just so much. The notes I've been taking, I think this Friday session is going to be really, really exciting if all of these presentations are as action-packed as the 2 that you both have presented. So Rodrigo, thank you so much. And again, Nikhil, thank you so much as well. I haven't seen any other questions come through, but as I say, please do reach out to us either at yp@spe.org. Oh, Nikhil, do you have one more? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I actually want, if I can quickly share that, I requested our YP chair, Nikita Mishra, to join, and she has joined. She's a very young and dynamic person. So welcome, Nikita. Maybe you can say just a hello, but she's taken over of the role of YP, and in coming time, maybe she can interact more. So I think Nikita, you can say hello, a quick hello or something like that.
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'll be just listening to the presentations and I'll just see what additional thing that Mumbai chapter would be able to adapt from these presentations, and will be definitely in touch with all of you.
Yes, I feel like there's going to be a lot to learn from everybody across these sessions this week. So really, really good. Again, and thank you, Rodrigo, as well, for sort of helping come up with this idea to do this and share this, because there aren't really many opportunities to kind of share each other's successes. So I think that's really, really great. Any final words from you, Rodrigo or Nikhil?
I just wanted to comment, James, that I realized I might have skipped, and of course, once again, congratulate Nikhil, Nikita, and everyone from India, and you guys on the event, and Cassandra, and everyone that is joining from YMEC. And just want to tackle that. Perhaps I didn't mention enough the challenge that is in Brazil, which I think it's the biggest elephant in the room or challenge for us, which is the conversion rate from students to IPs. So feel free. I know that Nikhil has amazing ideas. He's always giving them in YMEC, and I know he still has a bunch of them in his pocket for the future and to help. But I think I myself would suggest to encourage all of you during the next days and today to think of ways in which we can tackle this, how we can get students to remain within SPE, and how we can perhaps rebrand and transform SPE from the inside to make it this Society of Professionals in Energy. James, we have now Amanda. She's joining us. She was on medical leave. She's the student chair for the Brazil section. I don't know if Amanda can, you guys mind if she says little words?
Oh, please go ahead.
Hi, Amanda.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the invitation, Rodrigo Roeda, and congratulations for the IP Congress. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. And I'll just take some minutes to talk a little about the Brazilian chapters here. They are doing a really interesting job, mainly doing some campaigns to help the society during this pandemic crisis we are having. So we already had a campaign to help some families with conditions that was not so good. And now we are starting a new campaign of blood donation this November, the way that it's and the donation day here in Brazil. So we are doing a campaign to the blood donation. And also we had really good awards here this year, because some chapter was the first year of the chapter, and it did a really great job during the pandemic. And I have some chapters now that are starting to come back to the class in Brazil. They spend all this time online, and now they are going to start presentially, and they are going after new members. They are moving back to the universities and going to increase the number of members. And this November and December, we are going to do a big campaign here. We are going to start with the arts for the membership renewing, for us not to lose members for the next year. To start this presentially in the universities, we already come back, and online for the universities that is still in a hybrid or online method, to get more members for the chapters, because during the pandemic times they were online and they are not so interested in the activities. But now we are coming back, and we are going to do a massive campaign to renew the membership for the students and to bring them to our activities with more intensive programs, and also to help them with the needs they have for all the Brazil. That's a really big country, and some of them are more far from the Rio and São Paulo polos, that is where the petroleum industry is more strong. So they are really doing a great job here in Brazil. And also the activities for IPs and a lot of activities for intern programs to incentive them to be part of the industry, to keep doing petroleum engineer and engineer as well, for find the networking. We did now the national and the first edition for our paper contest, and we have 80 students for doctor and 80 students for master and 4 from undergraduation. So we are still incentivizing them to write papers and to be prepared to the regional contest. The competition was really great. The works they were doing in the universities is very interesting, and they are going to be very good at the regional contest also. So it's a few words I have for the students in here, and thank you and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Really nice to hear from you.
Thank you.
So for those, Rodrigo talked about some of the big challenges, the white elephants, particularly the conversion rates. I'm happy to say that was a very good segue, because our next session that's going to be in just under 3 hours time, we'll be tackling that exact issue. So I do hope you can join us there for that. I'll be running through a few best practices for conversion rates, but as part of the whole Congress, this whole bootcamp, it's really about hearing from you guys as well. So if you have any best practices and tips as well, it's a really, really great platform to share that information as well. So I do hope you can join us for that. Tomorrow we have the Bahrain section, the India section, and the Egyptian section joining us. So more great stories from them as well. But there's so much going on. I won't take up lots of time just listing all of the programs that we have throughout this week, but I really do appreciate you joining us. If you need any more information, please do go to the event website. We have all of the information listed there. You'll be able to watch all of the videos on demand once they've been done as well. But I really do hope you can join us in the Zoom meetings, because it means we can interact with you a bit better. So thank you so much for joining us. I will wrap it up there for today. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a good one. Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, James.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Rodrigo, for the whole event. It's amazing to hear your great stories. Brazil stories were amazing. Thank you again. Thank you. Bye.
Likewise from India, Nikhil. Great seeing you. Thank you, James, Wen, everyone. Mohammed, Cassandra, and everyone from YMAC as well.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you.
Excellent job, guys. See you all later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, James, and thank you. You earned this money. Sorry, I forgot to get back to you at first. I'm really looking forward to the session tomorrow, and I hope I could really give a good discussion about the section here. And thanks to Nikhil for kind of introducing me to you and to get this opportunity on board for presenting tomorrow.
It's our pleasure. This is all about hearing from you guys. So thank you so much for helping.
Indeed. James and you and both of you guys are pillars of all the YP programs those happen across. I've seen you guys relentlessly working and doing a lot of stuff. So congratulations to you as well, apart from everybody else, but you guys are doing fabulous. So, and thank you for having all of us.
Big SPE family.
Thanks and congrats, James and Yuen and Mani. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.